Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome to a very special episode of pYanodon's Season 3. We are live right now on Twitch and YouTube for our 200-hour celebration stream, and we're hopefully going to get Py2 Science in this stream. Not maybe in this episode, though, because in this episode we're going to be working towards setting up our Py2, but first we noticed something that is broken, which I need to go fix. Which is that our fish food is kind of jammed up because somehow, and I don't know how I keep doing this, I just don't always trash things that need to be trashed when they're backed up. So here we have fish food as an additional output. Remember, it's a byproduct now from our fish, and unfortunately we're not doing anything to get rid of it. So we just have fish food completely backed up on the line. So what we're going to start with is a composter. I think you can compost fish food. Let me double check that. Yes. In fact, it's a lot of compost. So this will be a nice way to generate free compost for our base. And the overall output of fish food is 0.12 a second, which I think we can handle pretty easily. And this is a trasher just for biocrud, so we're gonna need another trasher. Oh, but wait, we also need, now this is interesting. We need 10 biomass each. So I think we can actually set this up without needing a trasher. What we'll do is we'll just set up a composter. Maybe... I guess over here's fine. And what we need to do is, if fish food's already filled up the train station, then we need to have it go over here. I'll put priority right. But this needs to be only the fish food. So again, we need one of those belt side loading situations, and then that will load in to here, which will turn that into compost. But then we've got this guy, and we can load the compost onto this belt. And we said 0.12 fish food, which is 0.6 compost a second, so we should be okay with something like this. But we want to get it on the correct side of the belt. And then do something like this. Input priority right. And I'm now realizing we definitely need like this kind of situation. So that should result in all the extra fish food being turned into compost, which we need anyway. So I'm hoping, yeah, that should work, because the actual compost we need is 10. We only get 1 extra fish food, which is only 5 biomass. I keep calling it compost. It's biomass, not compost. But that should work. So that way we just require less biomass when we're already backed up on fish food. Perfect. Perfect. That should get the fish freely flowing. Fish freely flowing. Fish freely flowing. That's not easy to say. Okay, so we are back to actually setting up our Py2 Science. By the way, William, someone, I think their name was William, commented that we had already made biosamples. And we had. I was very embarrassed. We've already got biosamples right here. We had already set it up. The number of times, it's growing. It's still not that many, but I've set the same thing up twice. It's growing, and it's gonna keep happening, I'm afraid. What's up, Gaming Strudel? Welcome, welcome. Okay, so back to this. I kind of forget where we left off, to be honest. I think we were ready to import all the fluids now, because the biosamples are being done somewhere else. So I I guess we need to import the biosamples. We never did that. So it's 0.178. So it's about the same as rich clay. So we're talking 10 a minute. So a stack is 10 minutes. So we need like 6 stacks. Why don't we just do that here? Is that fine? Or 8 stacks? Yeah, that's fine here. We got 156 storage. So biosamples. We'll do 8 stacks. And then we'll grab that signal to go here. So that's our threshold for biosamples. And then we need to put that into one of the chests, provider chests. Why don't we do this one? We'll do 1 stack. Sweet. You wanted to pause the video and it didn't work? Wait, can you not? Oh, I guess you can't pause on Twitch. Yeah, I think on the YouTube live side of things, you actually might be able to pause. Okay, so now we need to start working on the fluids. The fluids are all extremely small amounts, and some are even more extremely smaller than others. Arcat honey, we actually need a reasonable amount per second. We need a few drops of Arcat honey for the good alien sample. But moreover, the Pi2 science itself needs a good amount of Arcat honey. So 10 a second means 650 a minute, means 6,500 every 10 minutes. So having the full complement, like 25 grand, is reasonable. Blood and Zogna, I think, are also reasonable to have the full amount. So I think what we'll do is we'll have one station with the full 25,000 fluid request threshold. And this one will be for blood, Zogna, and tears. No, blood, sweat, and Arcat honey. Okay, so Arcat honey. Arcat honey. We'll go with 35,000. Have a little bit extra there. And then we needed blood, which 30,000's fine. And then we need Zogna, which 30,000 would also be fine for that. And then this needs to be Arcat honey. I mean, it doesn't have to be the same order, but we'll do blood, and then we'll do Zogna. Perfect. So that's good for that. And then we can go probably smaller for the next things, which is phytoplankton is only 114 a minute. So an hour of that is only 6,000. So let's do a threshold of 10,000, I think, for this one. And then we'll do, uh-oh, that's gonna be stuck there for a minute until these bots arrive. Shouldn't be too long. Okay, so for phytoplankton, we'll go ahead and grab 10,000, no, 12,000. And then methanol and Corlex milk. Phytoplankton. Methanol. Corlex milk. Methanol. 12,000. Corlex milk. 12,000. Okay. And again, we need this sort of situation out here. And then we need another one up here. You know, I could have made stone brick from this stone, but then I wouldn't have had the flora, so you get issues either way. Okay, and then this one, we're also gonna do probably 10,000. What's the smallest fluid I need? We're bringing Declan in via pipe, so I don't need to worry about that. So I guess hot air, but we have a lot of hot air. Also, I'm still missing a few things. I didn't count right. How did I count we only needed 9? Because we're still gonna need ammonia, CO2, flavonoids, and hot air. Oh shoot, I did do that one tile too low. What's up, Tactical Fruit? Enjoy the VODs tonight. I wonder if Picker Dollies messes with the bots that are coming to build it. I have no idea. No idea how that works. There's a good chance it completely screws them up. These are also... I'll just wait till they're built to fix it. But yeah, we're gonna need another train stop, I guess. Is that right? Because we have one too many things. Oh, and we've also got Arcad Venom. Yeah, I don't know where I got a count of 9 from, but that's just wrong. All right, we need another fluid request. And the threshold for this one will probably be like 6,000. And we can do all the really small amounts in here, like the Arcad honey and depolymerized organics. Are we just making that here on site? I forgot about that. What does that need? Liquid manure. I probably want to train around liquid manure. What all does liquid manure make? The orange inserters are stack inserters. What's up, John? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, there are so many intermediates for py2. It makes the urea for the recipe that we don't really love but have to do sometimes, and it makes depolymerized organics. That's literally it. So it feels like it's easier to ship around the depolymerized organics, actually. But so down here we could just make depolymerized. Yeah, maybe that's what I do. What's supposed to be in this chest tank thing? Oh, liquid manure. Wait, what? Oh, we never have enough. Oh, yeah. This is a little tricky because we're still not making enough manure, I don't think. We're out of moss? Wait, what? Uh-oh. Yeah, we never improved our moss supply for manure. And when Vrauks are going full tilt, then they're eating up, I think, all the moss. So part of me then says, why don't we just put this on trains? Because this is already set up to work properly. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that. Let's just get that subcritical water plugged in. Because eventually I'll make a whole new manure build. Maybe when I get to AUG 2s or something, but we're just not there. Yeah, the hot air is a lot faster per machine. We don't need very much subcritical water here. That's why it doesn't really matter too much. Hey, good bits. Thanks so much for the prime sub. All right. So I think what we want here is another small tank. And we'll just put that in line with this one, I think. Make sure it's wired in to... What the heck? It's trying to wire it into the tree. That's... Wow. That's not what we want. There we go. Okay, and then this guy can go to the left here. And we'll just let that connect to something way over here. All right, so because yeah, the subcritical water made by the biomass one still makes 3 a second, so that's more than enough. And this makes more than enough. So it's really just a question of the liquid manure, if that's enough. And so I think what I'll do is that, this. Okay. And that then is depolymerized organics that we can deliver straight to the dome. Depolymerized organics. All right, now that's enabled, disabled. They are all hooked up to the right thing. Okay. So that should work. Let's head back up here. What's going on with the trains not being able to unload? Oh, I know what's going on. Well, good thing these buffers are all going to be used up. Whoops. Whoops. We didn't hook up the wire. Classic Krydex mistake, to be honest. That's nothing new. Nothing new here. Okay, so probably need one more out this way. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Goodness. So many fluids. And let's preemptively get that one taken care of. All right. So that should fix that. I do need to void a bit of blood here. The easiest way to do that is just pump. Well, what is the easiest way to do it? I guess we'll do it this way. Pump, and then we have like a little section here, and then we can just void that section until the train leaves. About 15 more. Okay, we should be close. A few more. Alright, that'll do it. Alright, so there goes the blood. And then the Zogna is hooked up properly, so that's good. Methanol, we need to do the same thing. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should do it. Okay. Ethanol is good to go. Corlex milk has arrived. Phytoplankton is already here. We don't have honey. That's a problem. Is it possible to void a train's content? I don't actually know. Did I ever fix CO2 at my moss farm? I don't actually know. What did I break here? Pole? Got onto the biomass line. Biomass line. Oh. How did that happen? Well, that's a problem for CO2. I wonder if byproduct CO2 has been keeping us going. How long has that been a thing? Why do I have multi-output stops feeding a tank they can't unload fully into? I don't. I just didn't have them wired up. Oh, it pulled coal out of my train? I need to be more careful about where I have my destination going to, I guess. Okay, well that's fixed now. Thank you for pointing that out. I didn't know that they had done Factorio plus Space Age yet. That's one of the few mods, or that's one of the few overhauls, I should say, that I actually think could work decently with Space Age. Because Factorio is viewed by many already as a bit of a vanilla plus situation, and so that kind of seems a bit more natural. I honestly, I could see Bob's Angels working as well. It's a little tricky, but I think it could fit. It would be a lot of work to make it fit. But I couldn't see Nullius really working with Space Age. I couldn't see, definitely not pyanodons working with Space Age. I don't know. What are the other main overhauls? I guess there's the one we don't talk about as streamers, Industrial Revolution. There's that one. That one's hard to imagine working with Space Age, but I haven't played it enough to really know. Okay, so back to requesting things here. So we wanted Arcad Venom, Hot Air, and ammonia. Yeah. Okay, so Arcad Venom is 5,000 enough? Hold on. 5,000 would be only 1,000. Oh, 1,000 minutes. No, 100 minutes. Yeah. I think 5,000 is about right. We'll maybe go for 6,000 with a request threshold of 5,000. Okay, and then Hot Air. Just do 10,000. Hot Air is so cheap, I don't mind having a little extra. And then ammonia. Oh, you know what I wonder? I wonder if I had thought to myself, I'll just make, I guess ammonia we need a little bit more. So we'll raise the threshold up to like 8,000, sure. Okay, we just want a little bit of a buffer for those. Anyway, I wonder if I was planning to just make the CO2 with biomass. Because do we already have biomass here? We should, though I don't remember requesting biomass. Did we ever do biomass? I don't actually think we did. I thought we had gotten all the solids. How did I miss biomass? Oh, had we not plugged it in yet? Oh, sorry, we don't need biomass. We do need biomass. We need subcritical water. Whoa, wait, we need 9 subcritical water a second. Hold on. 9 subcritical water a second. That is not what we're making down here. We are gonna have to improve our subcritical water build for this. Yeah. I would need 3 of these. Okay. Got it. I didn't realize what's going on here? That needed to be down there. That's what's going on. I see. Okay. So then that means we will need biomass here to make the subcritical that we put into the Perogen. So why don't we throw that? Do we have the stacks to spare still? I think we definitely do. So we'll grab biomass. And I don't remember how many stacks. It looks like we're doing 11 of most things. But why don't we just do the full 21 here? Oh, wait a second. Do we really want that, or do we want it in here? Because it might go on a belt. And this is totally going to be in the way. Let's add some more chest action onto this. And then 192, that should allow for biomass to show up here. Okay. So we'll put the biomass there. And then that takes care of that. Okay, we're getting close here, right? Still doing CO2. What did I do this time? Oh, okay. This is less of a bad problem. This one's easier to fix. Okay, that. Arcad venom. Ammonia. However, I do think we realized a problem, which is the Arcad honey's not showing up. So let's go visit our Arcad facility and see what's going on there. I think we never just connected it properly, because last time I checked, Arcads were working fine. Then again, things break. The entropy of the base is ceaseless. Yeah, I think we just never put fluid honey. Yeah, that's all. Okay, so how do I actually... I guess we need honey as an overflow to then go into the tank that we put onto trains. Because we do need honey for the internal workings of the Arcad system. So we want this to be only overflow. And this is annoying. Shoot. What do I do here? Because we don't really have room for this. I mean, I guess we sort of do. I could probably scooch this one. That still needs to be scooched for that to be there. And then this water's in the way, and then that RoboPort, which is channel 1. I was wondering about that. But we can move that too. And then put those bots back in. Okay, this is still gonna be in the way though, isn't it? Because isn't it one tile? Yeah. That's always so annoying. I just don't think there's a way it can fit. What if I don't have that power pole? Wow, that was a very load-bearing power pole. That was the entire Arcad build. Nope, then the corner is still off. Gosh dang it. I guess I could, for once, make an exception with a train signal. And then just put it there. So that should accomplish the same overall goal. And then it does fit. Haha! And then we just need to move that guy, and then we need to move this water. And then we can fit a provider in, minus this dump chest, and a few hot air pipes here, which I'll reconnect. I'll reconnect, I'll reconnect, I'll reconnect, I'll reconnect, I'll reconnect, I'll reconnect, I will reconnect. I will reconnect the hot air pipes. I'm reconnecting the hot air pipes. Don't worry, I'm reconnecting them. The hot air pipes? What hot air pipes? You mean these hot air pipes? The hot air pipes that I need to reconnect. I didn't forget. Okay. Now, the raw, or not raw gas, but natural gas is also not connected. So I'm not forgetting that either. Okay, so that's all good and fine and dandy. And Arcad honey, how much honey can we even make a second here? Honeycomb's 50, right? Yeah. So 30 honey a second. So a minute. Well, that's 30,000. That's 90,000 an hour. Yeah, I don't know how much honey it uses internally to remake that, but surely that's enough to, or like we can fill one of these tanks. Okay, so the honey, come down here, and over here. Of course, the burner's in the way. Okay, so that's the Arcad honey, and then we need the pump jack. Okay, I don't think we broke anything and didn't fix it. I really hope not. Arcad honey, fluid provide. I think we did okay here. Time will tell. Hopefully I didn't screw that up. By the way, I'm curious how much Arcad venom we've built up now over here. Oh, we got plenty. Okay, look at that. It still isn't as much as it once, apparently. But we're close, yeah. And the arthropod blood we're way over. So we could always compost that, to be fair. We're not composting it right now. The blood and the arthropod blood we could throw into composters. And fish oil? I can't remember. No, fish oil can't be composted. May have forgotten to fix the hot air. Hot air. Hot air is fixed. Okay, so we still have some problems. Pi2 problems to fix. So we've got subcritical water, manure, and poop for manure. I meant to say moss. No, I meant to say manure and moss for manure. That's where my brain was going. So that's already one we know isn't fast enough. Stone bricks aren't fast enough. Cotton guts, I want to check on those. I'll call them cotton butts for fun. Okay, so those are things that we need to look into. Why do I have improved moss question mark? Are we not making enough over here? I think we are. The system is still getting jammed up, though. With stone. I mean, how much stone a second do these consume? I guess maybe we do need stack inserters. Huh. Or, you know what I could do? Yeah, I think I kind of have the solution here. We need to load the stone with 2 loaders. Yeah, let's go fix that. I think that'll improve our moss situation a little bit. And then cotton booties, I can't remember. I think we made enough, but I don't remember if we made enough for the old science build or the new one. I made enough for 0.7 out. Did I actually make 32 of those stupid things? I made 30. Okay. And how much do we actually need for Pi 2? 0.6? Okay, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. So anyway, I think the solution here is to shift what's happening? Oh, this is not a sushi loop. That's what's happening. Okay, so yeah, the solution is to separately filter stone left. And then that one goes in. And this one will go into the top. Like so. Okay. Oh, not quite. And then this one needs to merge with that one. Okay, there we go. So that should actually prevent the issue that we've been having. And I don't know, you know, let's see, how many do I have? I have 40, so if I had 40 of these, that is only 10 stone a second in, so it shouldn't slow down. And then we're switching to recipe 2 when what is happening? So we go back to recipe 1 when stone is less than 8. So when this belt doesn't have stone on it. Shouldn't I also add the stone that's in this chest? Because then as soon as we run out of stone on this belt... No, the chest would just get recycled automatically, but yeah, no, that's the right thing to do. I think I was not crazy when I did that. Okay, so anyway, 2100 moss though is not very much. But it's when it's more than 2100, it switches back to the cheap recipe. Let's say more than 3000, it switches back. Because we use moss often enough that I don't want it to be constantly switching back. I want it to be doing the pricey recipe. And then it feels like this stone is not requesting enough. Let's go to 40 stacks here. Okay. Now, back to science. To the science world. This is gonna be great. And then, yeah, we'll probably work on fixing those Pi2 problems after we get Pi2 set up. Because, like, we have enough to make a decent amount of science per second. It just might not be able to, you know, consistently meet the bar. Okay, anyway, we're not making biosamples here, so ditch this building. We are doing everything else, though. Okay, so the final things we needed... Let's check on Arcad Honey. Is that actually filling up? It is. Perfect. Okay. And then we need CO2. But I think... And flavonoids. Or did we decide we were making flavonoids on site? I've now forgotten completely. Flava Flav. Why do I have no memory of this? I think we decided we were making flavonoids on site. Huh. So that means we have one more thing we haven't set up yet. Man, I thought we were so close. Okay, so that means we need more seaweed, or, well, that's our first seaweed, and yadols. Yadols, seaweed at 1 a second is maybe enough to warrant, 160 stacks? This can't even hold 160 stacks. Whoops. Let's do this. Make this a bit bigger. Let's grab seaweed here. Hey, Gildarth. How possible do I see Pi2? I think it's pretty possible. We're getting really close here. We're getting really close. So there's seaweed and Yadles, which I think the Yadles would be a good fit for this. Yadles 10. Yeah, they're all backed up and everything now. Cool. Okay, so Yadles and Seaweed are now in. And we'll make the flavonoids on site. Okay, let's keep going through here. So pressurized water is free. We've got that. We've got that now. We've got that. Got it. We don't have CO2, but we're making it from biomass. Super easy. In a high pressure furnace. Ammonia. Got it. Glassware. Got it. Seaweed tin. Rubber? Did request rubber somewhere, right? Wait, have I requested rubber yet? Yeah, it's up here. Okay. Liquid manure. No, we don't. We're requesting the depolymerized, but I'm making the subcritical, like that. Okay. Wait, so then I don't need a ton of biomass. How many? Whatever, it's fine. It's fine. We have a ton of biomass, so it'll mean less trains on average. Okay, so we did that. Meat. Plastic? Yeah, we requested plastic somewhere, right? We're just checking everything off the list here. Where did plastic end up? Did I not do plastic? I might not have done plastic. Well then, I'll be darned. Nope, I did do plastic. I just have no plastic. Do I not have a plastic provider? Let's find out. We do. It's just not filled up enough. Yeah, preschool girl, I've asked myself the same question. I think power is going to be an issue. So it might be first on the list to increase our power production before we, because we could have some brownouts, which could be problematic. For power production, I was thinking potentially we would just use this raw coal patch. The problem is, if we're just using raw coal to power coal power plants, we do get a lot of ash, which we don't want to waste. So we'll have that shipped on trains, but we already have like a facility up here, so I could pretty easily just ship the ash up to here. So that was kind of my thought, was just using this space as a big power plant. And we already have some backup set up, so I can turn this combinator on if we really need backup power, and that should last a while. So we've got some backup power in case of emergencies, but yeah, overall we just are gonna need more power. So I'll probably do that. We can put that in our Pi2 problems to fix list here. More power. Okay, so back to the list. We need to make bone meal. That's super chill. It does require more bones than I thought. We are requesting a lot of bones, so that's good. Okay, so why don't we get some belts out here? Or maybe I should build the stuff before I do the belts. This is tricky. Cause like, what needs the highest count of buildings? So, like, let's get these three set up. Cause these three require a lot of moss, casein, plastic. We're gonna need some power over there, as well as channel 1 roboport. So that way we have the channel 1 coverage. So we're gonna want a belt with casein and moss. And maybe... What are the other ones I'm planning to belt? Glassware and plastic and zip-ear eggs. What am I doing with those? Am I belting those? Or am I... No, I guess we're botting. We're botting the zip-ear eggs. Okay, so then... So moss and glassware we could put on one. Now glassware is used in a bunch of other places too. Particularly for making laboratory instruments. Hey, there's the Arcat, honey. Wait, what? How did a train... Oh, it brought exactly 25,000. Never mind. Never mind. We're good. Okay, moss and glassware. And then I just picked up some glassware. There we go. Okay, so that's good. And then substrates needed for the Pi 1 science, which I've called Pi 2 science a bunch of times. What if I had that belt running along here? Gosh, we're already 47 minutes into this episode. I do think we're gonna get to Pi 2 science in the stream though. I want to. Okay, let's get these set up. So we need 5 of them. Okay, and then train death will happen someday. It's probably true. So I guess glassware and substrate would make more sense. And then we can run that up between these buildings to feed both. And then moss will be on a separate belt with maybe the biomass. I don't know if it really matters. And then that can run up alongside these buildings. The casein and plastic, I guess, could go on a belt. And that can come over to our buildings over here. And there's access. I guess I didn't do pipes right. We're gonna have to use underground belts. Okay, that's fine. What else needs to be belted to these buildings? I don't think anything else. I think everything else is bot based, right? Now, the bone meal, you know, there are other belt-based things, like laboratory instruments need a lot of they need the rubber and the tin, I think, is what the tin's for. Well, the yeah. The tin is for the equipment chassis, which is for the laboratory instruments. So why don't we get those set up? And then I think we'll have bots carry those around. So then we'll have rubber and tin come out here. And then we also need the glassware? No. Everything else is just botted. Maybe the small parts. Where am I putting small parts? Oh, did I never request small parts? God, we looked through the list like 100 times, I swear. Still missing stuff. Yeah, we never did small parts. Am I sure about that? Did we just never put small parts on trains? No, I just never requested small parts. Cool. Okay, so we need small parts as well. This one we just added more capacity to, so let's do small parts. I don't remember if we have a small parts provider that has that many stacks. So I'm gonna have to check. Yes. Okay. So that's done up here. Small parts. So then I don't remember which thing needs which. So we need the laboratory or the equipment chassis, which needs the tin and the other two pieces, and then the laboratory instruments. And we needed way less than one building, right? Yeah, 0.366. So we will need to bring in the wood potentially for these to provide. We need 1 rubber a second, 1.045 tin a second. So those two work. This needs equipment chassis. And then we need a requester chest on the other two pieces. This needs optical set. Small parts will come, and the rubber's already here, and the equipment chassis is already here. Okay, so this will be that, and then we need the optical set. So, optical set. Realistically, what do we want to request here? 0.314. So let's do like 100 seconds. So we need about 31 optical sets. So channel 1, optical set, 31. And then this guy needed Phoenix circuits, but that's only about 10. So I'll do 15 of each. Circuit, 15. Wrong channel. And then special? Is that the word I should look for to find Phoenix the easiest? There's a lot of different words we could search. 15 of those. Okay, so that's there. And then we're gonna need wood for both. Wood for sheep. To fuel them. And that should be equipment, chassis, or laboratory instruments. And we'll get all the inserters powered up, and we'll just do like 1 stack. It's fine. I think. Because they stack to 100, right? Yeah. Okay. So that's done. There's so many like little micro steps here. We'll probably have to be done with the episode soon. Let's maybe work on this part. Well, we also want the Perigen. Where does the Perigen factor into this? So the Perigen... Perigen... Needs the cotton guts, the biosamples, the glassware, the cytostatics. It's actually all unspoilable stuff. And this one's mostly unspoilable stuff. And then we're also gonna need primers. But these both need cotton guts, which is why having them near each other would make sense. And they're gonna be controlled by similar logic. The logic is gonna be connected, because this one makes Sarcoris in the first place. So I'll need to figure that out. What's the carry capacity? They should, I'm pretty sure logistics bots carry a full load to, oh my goodness. Coaster just stuck to the bottom of this glass. Condensation is a heck of a drug. I'm pretty sure they carry the full 3 for logistics requests. And just overfill the requester. Like if you request 1 item, don't the logistics bots end up putting 3 in? I think. I could be wrong about that. Let me know if I'm wrong about that, but I thought that's what they did. Okay, and then the carbon dioxide. What's up, Mars? Howdy, howdy. I'll get your name in game after we're done with this YouTube episode. So, what do we need over here? This is where we need the bone meal. Did I want to belt the bone meal? I guess we did. It's a high enough per second. And what do we make bone meal in? Fluidized bed reactor? I could do that right here. Save ourselves a bit of trouble. Someday I'll probably make bone meal manually, or like for train network stuff, but here we'll just put the bone meal on the belt itself, because that's not really expandable in some ways. So we'll bring down the bone meal, and that needs to go to here. Okay, so that's bone meal. Petri dishes. I haven't dealt with Petri dishes yet. Those are a pain in the butt, especially for this one. I might do a separate setup even, because the Petri dishes for the plasmids and primers and stuff, which we'll do in the next episode. This one only needs 0.059, which is, I think, less than 1 microorganism mine. By the way, I don't have the microorganism mines, so let's get those. Okay, so that's done. I feel like... Oh, you know what? Bones might have been fine to put on a belt. I forgot we also needed bones for the animal samples. Which are needed, I think, just for logistics science. Which I'll put over here. Yeah, and then the batteries and poor alien samples can just be on a belt. These both decay, so there's a little bit of a problem there. We're gonna have to be really careful about that. Like, I might not run the animal sample building until... I mean, they do have an hour to decay. These have half an hour, but we just want to make sure we're not ever running... We're not ever producing units of those that we won't consume. It's also annoying because the animal samples are consumed in sets of 2, which makes it possible that we could have like 1 left here, 1 left here. So there could be a few of those happening. Yeah, bone meal from Ulrich's is something that we'll look into at some point. I don't think... Did we look into it? I want to say it sucked. I feel like we looked at it. Did we not? It might be better later. Now I'm curious. Bone meal. Oh, we just haven't unlocked it yet. That's all it is. Wait, what? Oh, maybe they removed it? They might have removed it. Because I don't see it here. Or it's a turd option. Could be a turd. Let's look at all. Ulrich. Yeah, the being able to make from Ulrichs the bone meal is not a thing anymore. Oh, you just are talking about rendering them. Yeah, let's see about that. I still feel like I looked at this. Maybe I didn't. So 6 bone meal from Ulrichs. What would this look like? Wait, 167 Ulrich versus something like Augs. Let's see, this is gonna be bones to bone meal. So we're talking 0.167 Ulrich versus 0.667 Aug. That is a lot less. I don't remember though how much easier Augs are to make than Ulrichs. And these need the Ulrich food. That's not very many Ulrich corrals. Let's see. Yeah, but the Malaysia is a pretty steep cost, actually. That's another 2 buildings. But compared to the Augs, Augs end up with, here's their, yeah, 17. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're just needing bone meal specifically. But that's maybe for a someday situation. Okay, anyway, back to what we were doing. I was wanting to work on this a little bit. We're gonna need to be done with this YouTube episode soon, but let's go grab the microorganism mine, and we'll just have one specific one that hooks up to that building. Okay, where's the old thingamajig? Oh, it wasn't on. I gotta remember to turn that thing back on. Okay, well, we had 2 ready to go, I guess. Okay, yeah, we're already at 1 hour and 3 minutes. We'll go a little bit further, but are we gonna get Pi 2 in this stream? The number of things to do, it just somehow keeps growing magically. I feel like this would actually be best right here, because then it can direct feed. Oh, this is getting really, really hairy here, isn't it? Even with Bob's inserters, this is getting nuts. Gosh. So I need the spoiled petri dishes to come back this direction. So many spoilable things. Okay, so that works, and then the other things aren't spoilable. And then flora, we're just requesting Malaysia seed. I have no idea how many. Just request 100, sure. Wait, what? We don't have those? Where's the Malaysia seed? Oh, it's up here. Oh, do we need to belt that one? Just delete that block. Malaysia seed. Yeah, I think we were wanting to belt it, so let's belt it with the bone meal. Which actually is not that bad to do this. And then it can go on the right side. Or, well, the left side, according to the belt. Okay. And that'll get bone meal and Malaysia seed there. The urea, I guess we're requesting. Via bot. And the petri dishes, and then the flora is requested via bot. And where's the flora landing? What have I done with flora? Most of the flora gets used in these biological samples. Okay. I think I want this to be the flora requester. It's a 3-hour decay time, so I'm not super concerned about it, to be perfectly fair. And what's the rate? The rate is 21 a minute, so 10 minutes. Or no, it's close to that, but it's actually 26 a minute. So 100 minutes is 2600. So I guess we do want a train full. We'll do that. Okay. All right, we're gonna call it an episode there, and then in the next episode, we might finish this, or at least we're gonna be getting close, I think. We've got a lot of work already done. Some things are starting to get hooked up. There's still quite a bit more to do though, but we're getting there. So as always, for those of you from the future YouTube recording world, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next one.